Have you got all your badges now?
I ain't got fuck all. And do you know what? I got told, and I think this is true, I got told that to be in the EFL, you have to have a badge to be a manager.
Yeah.
Right? So people keep saying, Mark, you know if you get promoted, you ain't got a badge. I will start a nationwide campaign to tell the EFL to get to fuck if I'm getting a badge. What are you talking about? I need something to be something. Do you know what I mean? Not like fucking bus driver. I appreciate that. You need to be able to drive a bus. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? No one's safety at fucking risk, yeah? Like, just let me fucking be the manager. So yeah, I've not got the badge.
Have you never thought about getting them or?
Nah, I can't even stand the people that run the courses.
Yeah, but what if you get promoted again, though? Like, you've done all this work, you've got to this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the laws changed. I'm gonna get the rules changed. It's a fucking stupid. I don't understand why you need one. What's the logic and why you'd need a badge? It's ridiculous. And they're all fucking shit. You know, like, I don't know, what is it, level 1? Like, level 1's literally like crossing the road. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not for me. Listen, I mean, listen, I respect anyone that does badges and stuff like that and want to better themselves. I truly do. But I back myself and I don't need a fucking badge to back myself.
Within that circle, they must be looking at you and scratching their fucking heads. Like, you know, like you said, all the pretentiousness within the coaching world, any of that, and they've taken all the boxes, they've got the badges, and you're just rocking up and just fucking doing it.
I've got good people around me now, I'll say that, do you know what I mean? And but even with those great people around you, you know what I mean? You teach them that fucking bit of common sense or that, you know, decision making and the little leadership things that you just ain't gonna get in a million years unless you've been there, done it. Do you know? And I quite enjoy sitting down with other managers that have done it 20 years, whether it's an ex-Prem manager or a park manager, because they all have the successful ones all have the same things that they rely upon. Does that make sense? So, yeah, no, not for me, the badges, mate. I'm gonna have to talk to, I think it's Rick Parry, the top of the EFL, get that kibosh.
Just sit down with him.
It's supposed to be about equality, isn't it? I mean, it's and all that these days. Is it equality and all these things? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, my level playing field is that I couldn't give a about their badges. I'd do it my way.
Take us back to 1999, I believe it was. How did the club start? How did Dorking Wanderers start?
So we were, we were going to Wimbledon and stuff, watching the Dons, the real Dons, and there's only one Dons, and we were getting to age where we're like, you know, going out a lot and stuff like that, and we were just like, oh, you know what, should we just start a side and stop travelling around the country and just, you know, like, then we were at home for the weekend and we literally said, yeah, let's start a team. And then, you know, me and my friend, we were just, it was literally, I always say it, we were literally just like, he had printed the form out and for this Crawley District League, just a Word doc, he got to fill in and he was like, well, what are we going to be called? And I literally said, well, it's got to be Dorking something. And he just shouted, yeah, Wanderers. I went, yeah, that'll do. And that was the Mighty Wanderers in that moment. In this, I was on a staircase looking down at him. I remember that moment, which is weird. So we started it then, and just a bunch of mates, and we was out on a Friday night, you know, before the game, was out after the game. That was it, really. Just pay £5 each, put the nets up, same old stuff that everyone understands. The ones that don't want to do the nets come late. There's always someone that don't pay their subs. There's always a good player that you pay it for him.
Was it Saturdays you started off in? So do you know what level that was, or what step it was?
The very lowest, step 17.
Step 17? Okay, you're in step 17, you're putting up the nets. Take us through the journey thereafter.
Yeah. Well.
And you're playing at this point, which is
cool.
How old were you when you started it?
Like early 20s. So it was just a brilliant social scene. So we'd win the games, we'd go out, you know, there was just a huge group of us that used to love, you know, training and playing together. End of season, we'd have awards that were like, you know, massive parties and we would always have a Christmas party. And we had tradition at the Christmas party where every single year I would go out and buy every single person a gift that absolutely ripped the fuck out of them. And I used to literally wrap them up and we'd have a Christmas dinner every single year. From year one, this was. And these are things we don't do now that I miss. Because as you know, now you're doing all these pros and that, but I'd literally wrap up all these presents, and as I was wrapping them, I'd still be laughing, right? And then I'd stand up, and all the players would bring their girlfriends, and they would be literally f***ing shitting themselves, because the rule always was you've got to wear or use whatever I get you, right? And yeah, so we'd have we'd have things like that, every year, Christmas parties, presents, end of season awards, every Saturday night out, and then we'd win, and we won things, and then it really is a case. We just got used to winning, and we just started enjoying it. And then I kind of feel like in me, I don't know whether it's the old pool player in me or just the nature of me. I was in the city, I was in a targeted environment, and I just wanted to keep winning. And yeah, we just got an appetite for winning. We played on the council pitch where literally we just had to mark it, put the nets up. And then about 4 or 5 promotions in, whatever it might have been, we then had to put a rope around the field. I think after another couple of promotions, the council said, look, you can't use this field anymore, because we then had to put in a path. We then needed our own changing rooms, not shared, a T-bar. So then I had to go around the whole of Dorking and try and find somewhere to play. And we found a field. And the guy said, look, he's had no power, no water ever. He said, but if you want to try and do something with it, you can. It's owned by Fields in Trust, so it won't cost you any money to play here, just to get an agreement. But you'd have to obviously do it all. And I don't think, he's done with Dave Cackett, and I don't think he thought we'd bother with it. And then that became our home for 9 years. We turned up on a field, literally, with no facilities, no electricity, no water. And the week that we left there, we played a title decider on the Saturday, where we lost, went into the playoffs on the Tuesday, won the playoffs on the Saturday, and over 8,000 people watched us play that week at that ground. And our first attendance at that ground was 28 people. Wow. Right? And that was in an 8-year period. So at that ground, we put in electricity, dug trenches. It was the whole community, girlfriends, wives, local businesses, supplying things. We built and developed it all, got our hands dirty. And then over the years, we had to add extra paths, a stand for 50, concrete terrace for 100, floodlights, And then when we left it was it was like a full-on football ground, which was weird. But that is still, it's called West Humble. That's still our spiritual home. That's the ground we built. And when I get boys that don't want to run, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? I'm not an average manager in terms of I'm not a guy that's on 20 grand a week and he's talking to someone and it's like I've dug the trenches. So if you don't want to run Saturday, I'll have a bigger problem with you than anyone else would. Does that make sense? And I think that's where that management style comes from, to be fair.
Is that your biggest thing then? When in signing a player, we're drifting into signing players now, sorry, but when you sit down with them, just because you've seen them as a football player, because Pep talks about that quite a lot, is the intelligence a big part, how much he can take on information from you?
Yeah, 100%. I've made a few mistakes in the last few years.
Got some mistakes. Right thick shit at it.
Yeah, I've had... Paul Cook, the Chesterfield manager, said to me, that was our first game in this division. And he's been there, done it, Paul Cook.
Yeah.
He's a great manager, good guy.
Yeah.
And I walked on the pitch and he goes, I know, Mark, you've done well, haven't you? Fuck me. He goes, you've done well
I've seen that. I've seen that. Was filmed by a bunch of amateurs. We'll talk about it in a minute. We'll talk about it.
And he said to me, he goes, I'll tell you one thing, Mark. He goes, recruitment's 9/10 of the law. He goes, at this level, you get it wrong, you're fucked.
Really?
And it stuck with me. And he's fucking right. And to your point there, Finnis, he's like, you're signing players, you've watched the clip, but had you done some kind of academic test on the way in, you wouldn't have signed them the month for Sundays.
No.
Because they have to understand football now. Yeah. They really do.
Is there anything player-wise that really winds you up on the pitch? Like, it can be anything really. Yeah. Is it anything that you go, or have you got a pet hate in a position?
I'd say I don't like keepers in general.
What's the thing with the keeper?
Just annoying. I genuinely just find them annoying, in general. But
they're all a bit space catty weird.
I think it's unfair of me, but I can't get over it. Do you know what I mean? Just how it is.
What about your keeper? You like your keeper? You obviously.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right, and I love that Slav. But that's why I like him. I love that Slav, the one that saved all the penalties. You know what I mean? So he's. But I don't like players that dive for a living. If someone tries to win something as a one-off in a game, I don't mind that necessarily. But when you get the boys that keep jumping around, I don't like that. I've had a few run-ins.
Yeah. What about when your boys do it, though? You just as hard?
No, they won't fucking...
You won't have it?
No, I won't have that, no. I won't have them wearing fucking undergarments, bandanas, gloves, earrings,
all gone? Even a cold January Saturday morning, gone?
All gone, yeah. Oh, fuck me, all gone, mate. Yeah, I just think like...
Is that because of the costing, or is that because you don't like it?
I don't like it. I just think, what sort of mindset have you got if you've got to put a pair of mittens on a player going football?
Okay, what about if someone of my ilk comes to the football club in my prime, top player?
Yeah.
I say, Mark, you want me as a gaffer. Mark, I've got to wear gloves. I've got to have a snood wrapped around. It makes me feel good.
No, I'd say no. I said,
but you know, if I'm in a 10 slot, you know I'm producing and I'm probably getting you promotion.
Yeah.
Are you not letting the snood pass?
No, I think I can improve you by taking it off. That'd be my attitude. I think if anything, if you're still wearing that gear, you've got some extra mileage in you as a player. To get rid of that and kick on a bit. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like it. Yeah. We played against a bloke the other year. I swear to God, he had motorcycle gloves on. He obviously couldn't...
Yeah, a little bit over the mark there.
I swear to God, I had to say to the ref, he's even got a strap that was flapping in the wind.
Can't have that.
He's probably had to nick off straight away after the game, like, you know. He's
probably at Wembley tonight, like him.
Yeah.
Deliveroo driver,
okay, no, I get it.
I don't like that. But I don't know. I feel like the story's still going on, so we'll sort of show what's there. But people love it. I get people, honestly, everywhere I go. My wife's not been to football in 20 years, but she started going again because she loves you telling refs to f off. She thinks it's amazing. She thinks it's brilliant that you wind the opposition fans up when you score, because when they give you give it them back, and you know, like that kind of so yeah, I kind of feel like we're happy just going along and doing our thing and not really worried about that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there want to preserve football as well. Do you know what I mean? The highest level it's just kiboshed all over the place with VAR and all these crazy things going on. The money in the game at times puts people off, but the football is obviously it's a people's game, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's your dad, and it's, you know, all of us that have been brought up with it. You know, the one common theme every single person in football's got that plays it. They probably sat in a council changing room covered in mud on a crap pitch. Yeah. So everyone's got that sort of football spirit burning, and I think it resonates. So we definitely want to try and keep the game real and be a thorn in the side of people that don't. And that's why I've got a well-known referee advisory service that I offer free of charge.
Tell us about it.
Well, no, it's what it is on the tin, Natalie. Do you know what I mean? So you know, before the game, I'll have a briefing with them and let them know what I'm expecting. And then I'll let them know after the game what I'm expecting. And I used to let them know during the game what I was getting, but then they started giving out reds and yellows like confetti. So I've had to basically tune it down a bit. But, you know, I want to be a significant thorn on their side positively. I'm passionate about the game, genuinely. And there's a massive shortage of referees at the lower level. So where we started at step 17, you'd probably have to be now, fast forward 24 years, you probably now have to be playing at least for 4 years before you even got a ref. That's the shortage in that time. And
so, if we talk about refs, what about, because I obviously watch my grandson play and I watch my son play, and what about linesmen when they, what are they called now? Not called linesmen now.
Assistants. Yeah.
They're still linesmen for me, or linesperson, should I say?
Yeah,
I'm all right with linesmen.
You know, and then they put they're from the opposition.
The club linesman,
they put the flag up for offside, and he's like 6 yards onside, like you mean, because they don't want him to score.
Honestly,
I mean, talk about causing a row.
There used to be a club in our league, New Haven, and you used to because you have to have club linesmen for many years, and everyone knew this one linesman, this club. He was worth like 10 points a year to them. Yeah. This guy, but he wasn't just brutal with cheating. When you said whatever you said to him, he'd literally, when the ref was going that way, he'd look at you and go like that, right? He'd literally look at you and go,
For the podcast listeners, that was a middle finger.
Yeah, sorry, he'd stick his fingers up at you. But it is. I don't know, it's funny. I guess you could argue it's funny, that sort of like thing.
But that's why everybody gets so angry and frustrated, don't they? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what level you're at. I mean, but as long as in the end, I mean, you know, my grandson's team scored a penalty in the last minute, and I'm positive that the referee gave him a penalty because the opposition manager was giving him so much stick. I think the referee got fed up and thought, "Sod you, bosh," like I mean.
I bet, yeah.
What about an hour and a half before kick-off? Is that when you come in, you take the meeting, tell the team, give the motivational talk?
That's all me, like all me. That's my fucking, I want everyone to come into my place for the day, do you know what I mean? And what we're going to achieve. And yeah, this day age now, as you know, the tactics are done, the plan's done, they've looked at it at training. So then it's just getting into their heads, just trying to isolate where they are, do you know what I mean, on the day. Someone might have had a bad game Saturday, or some players, you know, it's like they had a great game Saturday, but they're fucking complacent, do you know what I mean? And they're the ones you're fucking tougher with than the next bloke, do you know what I mean?
So what if I've been playing well and I have a stinker, you have a pop at me and I have a fucking pop back? How's that Monday morning?
You get poked in the eye.
You know what I mean? I'm one of your best players, but I've got it. You can fuck off, you.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, we might have a minor punch-up, but... No, it would be a scuffle, like a couple of punches, get separated. But...
Are you all right with me next training session?
Yeah, 100%, because the thing is, you know, if someone proves me fucking wrong or right, I think that's one of the big things I do is I will put my hand up big time. At Scunthorpe last year, we was fucking 2-0 up at half time. Perfect. The fans are protesting against the club, another club that had troubles. They're fucking booing. I'm going, fucking perfect, lads. I fucking told you, get them on their back. They're trying to throw golf balls on the pitch. 2-0 up. Gone in and said, right, here we go, lads, bosh. Second half, they've scored one going towards their fans. Fucking erupts. I've gone, right, made a change, made a change. I'm sitting there, right, do this, do that. And I'm fucking on a pad, right? So we'll change formation as well, fucking blah, blah, blah. And I've made the sub. I'm going, right, oh, fucking there, I can't work it out. He's doing this, he's doing that, right? Bosh, 2-2, right? As I'm trying to work out what the I've done. and then next bit, I go to Dino, the assistant, I go, oh, fucking hell, I'm trying to do a 5-4-2. I've got too many players, right? Straight up, this makes me look fucking shit, but I don't care. But the point is, after the game, I'll say to the players, yeah, look, boys, that's down to me. So I'll be the first to put my hand up because I want them to fucking be comfortable with taking responsibility, accountability. Do you know what I mean? So that's the sort of environment, like, I'll be the first. I'll own meta fucking problems. If I say, look, I shouldn't have done this or done that, bosh, hand up, every game, every half time, whatever, and I'll go, by the way, you fucking this and you that, because that's how it works here. So if we do get an issue, we'll work out who's fucking right and we'll all agree on it, do you know what I mean? Probably.